If and when Comey gets indicted, add this video to the list of felony counts. And sorry for the voice. I just assume that every little whiny brat sounds like that. So, as you can see, MAGA World has their panties in a collective bunch today because former FBI Director James Comey put out a video. And the reason they're mad is truly shocking. And spoiler alert, they're all being whiny brats. Oh, wait, did I cover that already? All right, hit subscribe to Really American Media and grab a sponge to help clean up all the mega tears that are dripping all over this one. So go ahead, Mega. Show me on the doll where James Comey touched you.
Like a lot of you, I struggle with how to stand up to bullies without letting their meanness infect me and change me. You may have seen that the governor of California has been generating a lot of attention lately by posting on social media in a satirical way where he mocks Donald Trump and his all-caps megalomania and his absurdity. And I find it very funny. Hilarious, even sometimes.
Oh, he's praising Gavin Newsom. That must be why Mega is upset. And he's only half right, by the way. The new Gavin tweeting style is hilarious each and every time. But he's got a point. It can be hard to stand up to bullies. I recommend being a host on Really American Media. Works for me. But what else does Comey have to say on the topic that has Mega in need of a timeout?
But I gotta be honest, it also leaves me with a strange feeling at times because I don't want us to become like Trump and his followers.
Ouch, that does sting. Nobody likes to be called a bully, especially when they absolutely are bullies. So is that why Cult 47 is so mad at Comey? They don't like that he's preaching the truth and taking them to church?
There are far more decent, honest, kind people in America than there are mean jerks. And don't get me wrong, we have our jerks, millions of them, you may have noticed. In particular, there's a stunning coarseness and ugliness in the Republican Party today. It's upsetting, but it's also a minority of America. On the whole, we aren't like that, and we don't like that. I think that's a big part of the reason so few Americans support Donald Trump when they have to see him and that up close. And why Republicans are so worried about what's coming for them next year.
Well, yeah, there are more good people in our country than jerks. I just wish more of them had shown up on the last election day. And it's good to see Comey, a guy who was a Republican for most of his life, calling out the GOP coarseness, also known as being a giant asshole. And he's right. They should be afraid of what's coming next year because there's a big old blue wave forming and it's heading towards Washington, D.C. Now I definitely see why Mega is mad about this because I don't think Comey is suggesting that we use kid gloves or show them weakness.
And to be clear, I am not an advocate for weakness. Of course we need to stand up to jerks and defend what matters. But I think we have to try to do that without becoming like them.
Well, I walk upright, so I don't think I'll become like them anytime soon. But I'm picking up what Comey is laying down. We have to fight back. Be strong. Preach on, brother.
Which is what makes me think about Taylor Swift.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, come again? Taylor Swift? I did not see that one coming. I thought he was about to start quoting Winston Churchill or something. But now I truly do get it. Mega hates James Comey, but they really hate Taylor Swift because she's used her fame to endorse Democrats. She's also a level-headed, smart woman, and that is a giant no-no in Trump world.
She's made clear that she sees Donald Trump for what he is. And last year, she urged Americans not to make the serious mistake of electing him. Of course, we're now living with the consequences of that mistake, but while our elderly makeup-covered president is posting about whether Taylor Swift is still hot.
Oh, snap. Did he just call Trump an elderly makeup-covered president? I would say that is brutal, but I guess it's just a factual statement, and we all know how much Mega hates facts. Now I'm seeing why this video has them all so butthurt. And yeah, it's weird and creepy that our president spends any time talking about a pop star, let alone debating her hot or not ranking.
And declaring that he can't stand her. What's she doing? Living her best life. Producing great music and, as she urged all of us to do during the podcast, not giving the jerks power over her mind.
How dare Comey cite words of wisdom from a liberal female? I wish I was wearing pearls so I could clutch them. And in all seriousness, Taylor's right. We do have to fight back, but we can't get pulled into the mud. It's just not good for our brain holes. And that's often easier said than done, trust me. So, Taylor Swift, now it's your turn. Take us to church.
She said something about dealing with internet trolls that stuck with me. Think of your energy as if it's expensive, she said. As if it's like a luxury item. Not everyone can afford it.
Boom. Very true. Not everyone is worth the time. And I do often reply to hateful comments online, but not to try to change the mind of the knuckle dragger that wrote it, but to make a counterpoint for someone else who might be on the fence and is looking for something positive to believe in. You can change minds. It's possible. So that's why I always get vocal, because when it comes to MAGA, I would agree with them, but then we'd both be wrong, and I'm not the jackass whisperer.
I really enjoy reading Arthur Brooks, who writes columns about happiness in the Atlantic. I don't know if he's a Swiftie, but last week he wrote about research on the way that being rude or snarky actually hurts the rude person. As he wrote, when you become less polite, the alteration in your conduct can make you less happy, more depressed, and angrier about life.
Well, I'm actually snarky and rude for a living, and much like Taylor, I'm living my best life because fighting the good fight, it feels, what's the word? Oh, it feels good.
At my second Taylor Swift concert in Hartford, Connecticut, 14 years ago this summer, she sang a song about this topic, asking, why you gotta be so mean? And she spoke directly to the nasty people. I bet you got pushed around. Somebody made you cold. But the cycle ends right now, because you can't lead me down that road. You'll be glad I didn't sing that. That's right, because down that road is unhappiness. Nobody should have that power over us. Thank you, Taylor Swift.
Yeah, all true. Most bullies are that way because they've been picked on and turned cold. So Taylor Swift is right, James Comey is right, and of course, MAGA is wrong. Just like their comments on that video of his, like Vox AZ, who said, hello, fellow young people. Look, I listen to Taylor Swift. I'm totally normal. No, really, I'm just like you. Or Stephen Miller. No, not that Stephen Miller. Her main demographic are prepubescent girls. Or this one, absolutely bizarre for a grown man to make a 5-minute video talking about how much he adores and fangirls over Taylor Swift. Absolutely effing creepy and weird. And this is all coming from people who make AI pictures like this as they fanboy and man crush over Trump. But moreover, let's just be clear here. Taylor Swift, like it or not, is hands down the biggest artist on the planet right now. And you cannot achieve that status just based on teenage girls. I spent the last 10 years of my career at a radio station that targeted adults. Our average listener was in their 40s, and we played Taylor Swift all the time because she is loved by a wide demographic despite MAGA's perception to the contrary. And if you're going to go off on James Comey for being a fan, what about all of these celebrities who could not wait to see the Eras Tour? Yeah, James Comey is a Swiftie, just like Eddie Vedder, Ryan Reynolds, Gordon Ramsay, Tim McGraw, Prince William, Hugh Jackman, Channing Tatum, Aaron Rodgers, Paul Rudd, Niall Horan, and Billy Joel, just to name a few. And every one of you mega sheep out there would also be Swifties if this guy told you to be. So please, check yourself before you wreck yourself along with our democracy. Let me see if I can phrase this another way. Why don't you take your bad blood, shake it off, because I knew you were trouble with that blank space between your ears, so don't blame me if you have a cruel summer because you are so high school. In other words, you need to calm down and look what you made me do. So enjoy your August before we get back to December. And did I mention in the daylight, I look good in a cardigan? Yeah, and that would be 13 Taylor Swift song titles, which is her lucky number. So you're welcome, Swifties. All I ask is that you keep voting blue. And I also ask that all of you please like this video, comment below, and get vocal. From the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve podcast, I'm Steve Harness for Really American Media.